Good morning and welcome to another Thought for the Day on Monday morning, a beautiful blue sky Monday morning. And let me just read to you as we begin our thought today. This is called Life Raft. Does it ever seem to you that nothing in your life is right? When things go wrong, God knows we might start to wonder, does God care about me? Can he do anything about it anyway? So God makes you this promise to hold on to, a life raft for his children in a storm. I am not hurting you. I have a good plan for you and a bright future for you. I am planning unending good for you in your life. Things are not always as they seem, but God is always up to something big, always up to something good. The verse is from the NIV, from Jeremiah chapter 29 verse 11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. You know, it may seem at times in life when it's hard, when the storm is raging all around us, that there isn't much good. There isn't much good to be found, or even that God himself isn't good. The Bible says that God works in all things for the good of those who love him. Now that doesn't mean, and some people have kind of taken that to mean, that all things are good. I don't believe that that is true. Not everything that happens to us in life is good, and I would go as far as to say that not everything that happens to us in life is part of God's plan for us. We have choices that we make. There are things that happen to us, and that there doesn't seem to be an adequate explanation for those things. But can God, even in those hard situations, work his good? Can God, even in those circumstances, bring about good things that will prosper you, things that will give you hope and a future? Definitely, I believe that is true, and I can say that that's true in my own life. Do I believe that the hard things that have happened in my life have been because God has chosen to do something that will hurt me? No, I don't believe that at all. There are times where people get old, or people get sick, people die. There are choices that we make that are bad choices, that don't bring us life. But even in those things, can I say that the things that I've journeyed through in my life have brought good and been good for me? Yes, I can, because God is a good God who promises to give us a hope and a future. And so for you, where you are at the moment today, it might not feel as though things are good, and you know what, they might not be good. But can God bring goodness even in this time of hardship? Yes, he can. Many of us would have said in the early days of lockdown, what is good about being stuck in your home and not being able to meet with anyone and not being able to meet together as a church? And yet, talking to many of you, what you've said is that you feel that there is a depth, an added depth to our relationship as a church now that perhaps wasn't there before, or that is expressed in a new way now, and that is good. even in the midst of a difficult and painful situation. And so today, as I say, if today is a hard day, if what you need is a life raft to hold on to in this storm, then remember those words through the prophet Jeremiah. I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you a hope and a future. That's God's plan for you. Even when it's hard, even when it's all you're hanging on to in the storm. So today, let that be a life raft for your soul. And God bless you. And I'll talk to you again tomorrow.